Hello, good morning. This is going to be a short video on a couple of questions that I had from some fellow practitioners. And one is regarding the sticks for Escrima or Kali, the Filipino martial arts. And this is in regards to basically to stick or sticks, if you want to carry more than one, carrying as a weapon, and several other things. I would recommend you to have one of them in your vehicle, because nowadays everybody is carrying guns and stuff like that, but you never know. There's a like very aggressive, downtown Georgia. I live in Johns Creek, so downtown over there, there's a bunch of people living on the streets, and then because of drugs or mental health, I don't know, they were very aggressive. So you're not gonna shoot them, right? You don't want to kill a sick person. Or some people, and I used to have 3 governments. I cannot afford that because of my traveling and all of that. And I live by myself, so I'm not gonna have a whole bunch of dogs. There's people that they don't pay attention to their dogs, and I've seen dogs being very aggressive with elder people or kids. You have to protect yourself. Then a recommendation from a police officer and one of those animal protective services or whatever the name is, shelters and stuff, is that do not use pepper spray, because you can spray your dog. And a dog is an animal, and they're not going to behave always like they regularly behave. They may have a stomach ache, like my dogs, and then they're not in the spot of being very nice, and probably it's an annoying pain that they have, and you're not going to be able to notice because they're going to be doing around the same thing they regularly do. Whatever, that's it. It's proper to have one if you have your permits and you're legally carrying. I'm not promoting anything regarding weapons or anything like that. But if you can have one, and I'm talking about the sticks, it's a good thing. Now regarding the sticks, I have several pairs, but the ones that I used to practice are these ones. I'm gonna take out just one of them. This one. These are made out of polypropylene. This is around, I think it's 30 inches. I have to cut it because it was 32, but it's too long. And I would recommend this for practice. If you're going to practice just by yourself, this is very sturdy. It's hard to break, even to cut them. Well, I don't have all the tools. I'm not into repairing stuff and having all the tools or whatever. But these particular sticks are very good when it comes to practicing with a punching bag or partners or whatever. And also, even if you're not going to practice with a partner or a punching bag or whatever, which is strongly advisable, then if you start moving it, you are going to get a very powerful wrists and those muscles, the muscles of the forearm, and then that's going to help with punching in your grappling and all of that. In my case, for example, it's not painful, but I'm starting to have I feel, probably not, but probably they're not that way, but I feel kind of like stiff wrists. So for me, it's a very good exercise. So as just for the fact that it's good for exercising, then there you have it. That's a benefit, and that's not a very expensive weapon, or tool, whatever. Or you can cut it yourself if you know. I'm not that versed when it comes to wood, but if you know about wood or whatever, you can go ahead and make one. Now, Again, I recommend this one because they're cheap, they're very sturdy, and they have certain give as to flexibility. They're kind of flexible, so they're not going to break or bend easily. And then if you want to know, for example, for Kali, for example, the average measures are 24, 28. It depends on your height. But a better rule of thumb, which is the one I use, is that you put the stick like this, right in your armpit. I'm gonna move a little bit, so I'm gonna get out of the frame. You see? And then it's going to be from here to here, right from your armpit until up to your fingertips. Meaning, if you can hold the stick like this, that's a good thing. If you can use it like this, that's a good thing. Mine is a little bit longer because I like to leave a little bit of game. That's what I call it. I don't know if that's a name, but a little portion, like a fist portion, so you can use this to defend yourself, and then use it as a weapon as well. Now, I've seen some people that they put some kind of tape, and then they make like a handle on the stick. They are not that well versed as to how to use a stick, or probably they don't care that. But part of the stick, or one of the main purposes of the stick, is to be able to slide your hand around the stick. And then, for example, if I hit somebody and then they grab my stick, I should be able to go this way and then do something else. Or if I'm fighting here, like two people, for example, then I go in my back and then I take it on the other side, and then I hit from down up. So, I mean, that's fine if you wanna beautify. I don't know if that's a word, but if you wanna beautify your stick, then you put whatever, hockey tape or tennis racket tape or whatever. I don't recommend that because you're going to be used to just use one end of the stick, which is going to be the one with the handle. And then it's going to be, of course, this is going to be like a little bit thicker, so for you to slide your hand easily is not going to be the same. I'll put it that way. Now, when it comes to stick, I'm going to post another video from a gentleman from Ireland. I think that the sticks are a weapon that are readily available. If you take a look at the history of weapons, almost all societies, they have stick or wood in use, from making pots and pans and all of that, and making weapons. And again, like I posted in my previous videos, etc., the Maasai tribe, which have been around since who knows, they have a very flexible, I'd say the length is up to their nose. I didn't ask them because of the language barrier. I don't speak Swahili or Maasai. That is around there, and it's very flexible to the point that when they hit you, it kind of breaks the skin immediately. You're gonna get a cut, and then been using that since who knows, because it's simple. I mean, a piece of wood is readily available for a lot of people. So again, I know that, for example, in South America, they had that, and then they used to hide the fighting techniques in dances. For example, they had a dance which is called San Pedro or Saint Peter, and then they mask everything in a dance. So the colonizer, in this particular case, the Spaniards and the Portuguese and the French in Haiti, they will conceal their techniques in, for example, dances, so they were not going to notice that's a way for them to defend themselves. And they got to be so good that they would fight swords, and then would fight also machetes. The machete fight against a stick, I've seen that. And then they will use mostly guava wood, because guava is a very nice fruit. I like it. But it's a fruit that is common in South America. Well, that's a little bit of the history of the stick. So I would recommend you to, if somebody asked me, well, can I have a tire thumper? You could. But if you have a Toyota Corolla and then you get pulled up by the police, what are you going to say? I mean, this is for me to thump my tires. Now you have a truck, big truck or whatever, then that passes. But then that's going to depend then on the police officer. I mean, if they want to, or whatever law enforcement, it's not their fault. They're supposed to do that. But if they want to give you a hard time because of that, then they could. Now, if you have a piece of wood, hey, I use this for walking. I use this for, I don't know. I need something to close my door, or the door of my truck, whatever. So it's kind of easier to justify in court or end to a police officer, law enforcement, if you use it, that it's not like you have that particular tool or that particular thing for the purpose of hurting somebody else. Same as in court. If you have one of those retractable batons, or if you have, again, a tire thumper, and then you hit somebody with that, they're going to think in court that what are you going to do with a retractable baton other than hitting people, right? What are you going to do with a tire thumper if you're riding a motorcycle, or a Toyota Corolla, or a Honda Civic? Nothing, right? That's for you to hit people. So it's harder to justify that in court. Well, that's with the sticks. Any other questions, just let me know. Again, I strongly recommend to have a piece of a stick, so for you to train the forearms muscles and your wrist. Because I mean, when I start, like if I don't warm it up a little bit, try to do the sword or the ball, the long, for karate, because I don't want to just use just the Chinese terms. Then it's a good thing for you to have the, like to exercise the wrist, also to punch. I mean, the wrist, if you punch somebody that is bigger, stronger, fatter, I'm gonna say bigger and whatever, I'm gonna get into politically correct terms, then it will prevent a little bit for your wrist to bend, not to be like straight. So that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day.